Hi everyone, so today we're going to go over how to multiply two matrices together. So we're going to go over relatively medium level one right now, so I don't want to go too simple, but I don't want to go too hard either. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to look at the number of items in the column, in the rows on the left. So in here there's 2. Then you're going to look at the number of items in each column on the right. So in this case there's 2 again. So, which means they match up, which means you can multiply these two matrices. So that's how it works. You look at the number of items in the row on the rows on the left and the number of items in the columns on the right, and if they match up, you can multiply them. Okay, so how you multiply them works like this. So you take the first row in the matrix on the left, and the first column in the matrix on the right, and you multiply the first item in the row and the column together, and you add that to the second item in the row in the column. So you multiply each of the products together and you add them together. So when you do that, you get 1 times 5 plus 2 times 7. So how I remember how to multiply them is that it's the first row in the first column, which means it's in the first row in the first column in the new matrix. So now you're going to multiply the first row in the second column. So do the same thing. Multiply the first numbers and then add it to the second product of this the second number in each row in each column, or the first row in the second column. So you can do that the next time. Multiply 3 times 5 plus 4 times 7 because you're doing the second row in the first column. So in the new matrix it's in the second row in the first column. So you do the first number in the row in the column and add that to the second product of the second number in the row in the column, and then do that for the last one for the second row in the second column. Now, as you can see, again, you multiply the first number in each row, in each column, and you add that to the product when you multiply the second number in each row in each column. And you add those two products together, as I said, and so this is how you multiply a matrix. Now, however, how I remember what the final matrix is going to look like is you look at how many actual rows there are in the matrix on the left, and how many columns there are in the matrix on the right. So on the left there's 2 rows, and on the right there's 2 columns. So what does this mean? In the final matrix there's going to be 2 rows, and there's going to be 2 columns. So as you can see, they line up perfectly. 2 rows, and there's 2 rows in the final matrix, and there's 2 columns in the matrix on the right, and there's 2 columns in the final matrix. So now, as you can see, they match up perfectly. So now we actually have to do the math. So when you do the math, you get 5 plus 14, which is 19, and then you get 15 plus 28, which is 43. Then you get 6 plus 16, which is 22, and then you get 18 plus 32, which is 50. So now this is your final matrix. This is your final answer. 2 rows, 2 columns, perfect. So now, again, this is how you multiply 2 matrices. You just look at the number of items in the rows on the left and the number of items in the columns on the right. If they match up, you can multiply them. To figure out how many rows and columns you mean in your final matrix, look at how many rows are in the matrix on the left and how many columns are in the matrix on the right. That's what your final matrix will look like. You multiply the first item in each row and each column together and add that to the product of the second item in each row and each column, and you get the final matrix. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and leave any questions in the comments. Thank you.